the art of letting go is so tremendously important. It's just impossible to run constantly at a high level. So if you think about it like, your computer, if you get too many windows open and too many things running, it bogs down the system. And we can be that way as entrepreneurs, where we've got a lot of plates spinning. And if our mind starts to get overwhelmed like that, we just don't have the RAM, right? Like the random access memory. We don't have the processing power, the raw processing power accessible to us in that moment. And so I think that finding things and ways of letting go, and some of those things are mentality, some of those things are shifts, some of those things people have because something in their life radically happens that forces them into a place where they recognize like, oh my gosh, like my spouse almost died. Now I have a totally different perspective on what's important, and it allows them to let go of things. Now, I don't think that any of us want to have to go through something that extreme in order to have our perspective shift. And so I think if we actively seek those things out, tiny tweaks in our perspective about what is truly important can have a massive, massive impact on our ability to let things go. And like, hey, if I don't get sleep, and if I don't fix something here in my life with my personal health, and I don't take care of me, I'm not going to be able to support any of this other work that I'm doing. And keeping things in proper perspective and putting them in proper perspective, and sometimes having tough conversations with ourselves when we need to, and just going like, I'm totally out of whack here. And if I don't get a handle on this, I'm going to like stroke out by the time I'm 50. So what changes, if I had to make them, would I make right now if I was forced to? And like I was going to be in a bad place. If I was going to die 6 months from now, if I didn't change this, what would I start changing tomorrow? And putting ourselves in that position sometime to ask the questions in a very, very forceful, passionate way, and putting it under some constraints can give us some really, really tremendous insight without necessarily like reaching out to an actual coach and something like what I do. Ask yourself really good questions, put yourself in a pressure cooker, and you'll be amazed at what you come up with. And then it's a matter of, are you willing to actually put those things into action on a day-to-day basis? And that's where the rubber, of course, meets the proverbial road.